Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back or welcome to the channel. Happy Saturday. We are here to discuss the new Netflix movie, Leave the World Behind, which I was pleasantly surprised by. I'll say that just off top. Very pleasantly surprised. And I have heard some not so good criticism of the movie, which is very shocking to me. I actually kind of enjoyed it, but that is what we are here to discuss today. And the link is posted for members if anyone is interested in joining the live and sharing your thoughts. And if you're more shy, it's kind of like Zoom. You don't have to show your face if you just want to give your thoughts. You can always just cut the camera and just talk, give us audio. And also, if you guys have been enjoying the lives that we are doing and the new switch to live content, then and enjoying this live and the content all around, then pass the collection plate around, send a super chat. It is much appreciated. And let's get right into it. We are here to discuss Leave the World Behind, the new Netflix movie. It is listed as drama, mystery, thriller. The synopsis: a family's getaway to a luxurious rental home takes an ominous turn when a cyber attack knocks out their devices and two strangers appear at their door. We have Mahershala Ali. Fun fact: Mahershala is his nickname. Like, I used to think like, oh shoot, baby kept his full name for Hollywood. Nope, that's the nickname. We also have my personal faves, Kevin Bacon and Ethan Hawke, as well as Julia Roberts. Now, Mahershala, know he fine and know he talented. Him and Kevin Bacon, for me, were the standout performances of this movie. And I feel like, to sum it up, this Leave the World Behind, to sum it up, Leave the World Behind is basically everything that Knock at the Cabin wanted to be: the isolated location, the family on vacation, strangers at the door. This delivered on all of those points a lot better than Knock at the Cabin, in my personal opinion. Now, when the one thing that really stands out for me with this movie is the music. When the movie first opens, I was like turned up to the. I was like, wait, is that the appropriate mood? Is that how y'all setting things up for us? Is starting it off with a banger? Now, first off, we have our central family that starts off the events of the movie. We have Julia Roberts playing the mom. First of all, just a terrible character. Just a terrible human being, prejudiced human being. And I feel like I've seen a lot of people call her character racist. Her character isn't racist. Her character is prejudiced, which there's a difference: prejudice versus racist. Prejudice is just like a feeling, an attitude, judging people on being different from us. Racism is more action. It's the basis for discrimination based on prejudice. Is justifying your prejudice and pretty much implementing a hierarchy based on a system of belief. So it's a system and institutions birthed from ideology, prejudice, but she's not flat out racist, but she's very prejudiced. Not believing that this nice house could possibly belong to the black folks, saying that, Mahershala must be the janitor and the girl must be the maid. Yeah. And also Julia comment she made about Ruth not getting in the pool because of her hair. Like, you was definitely side-eyeing Julia character very hard the whole movie. We also have my man Ethan Hawke. Love him so much, but he didn't really blow me away. But honestly, it wasn't really a lot for him to do. He had his standout moment though, but Ethan Hawke as the dad was kind of just, he kind of crumbled under pressure, got frazzled, was lost, which I don't blame him because I'm going to crumble under pressure as well. And I found it really funny when his character is talking to Kevin Bacon and he's like, I'm a useless man. So, you know what? He knew who he was. And we also have Archie. Archie. sneaking pics of Ruth in her bikini and then pleasuring himself to the pictures. The pervert of the family, okay? He gonna be on some registered list one day. And we also have Rose, who was the youngest of the family, the daughter, the only one for me with any damn sense. Okay, Rose got us where we needed to go, but we will get into that now. The family starts off their vacation. They're leaving the city. They are going to this rental house. We have this gorgeous, luxurious house, this gorgeous pool. We have a day at the beach, which, y'all, at first I was watching this movie like, are humans really that oblivious? Yes, humans are this oblivious. We have Rose, again, just the only character observant, the only character paying any attention to anything. And we have all these beach goers. We have this huge ship that looks like it's headed straight for us. And Ethan Hawke character, when it's like mentioned, he's just like, oh, it'll dock. And I'm just sitting here like, my nigga, do you see a dock anywhere along the beach? Like, what do you think this ship is finna dock at? It is literally heading right for y'all, which, of course, it does, with all the dumbass beach goers. And I don't know if y'all noticed, it was a few beach goers in the back that I was like, baby, if y'all don't run like the little beach goers that was in the water, baby, get out of here, like, run. It was definitely giving me Vampire in Brooklyn when that ship was coming up onto the land. But baby, when I tell you the MVP of the movie is Baby Rose. Baby Rose is the MVP of the movie. She was me because, look, I'm peeping the scene and I'm peeping a gigantic damn boat. Now, when things really start to go awry and we really get into the meat of the story, we have Mahershala and his daughter, who are actually the homeowners, or I guess claiming to be the homeowners, just show up randomly at night. And again, right off the bat, baby Julia was about to get smacked. Being skeptical is fine, okay? I am the most paranoid ass person in the world. Being skeptical is fine. Being an a-hole is not. And Julia basically being like, oh, this is your house? I was sitting here like, why it can't be his house, baby? Because he black? And I was all for all the attitude that Ruth was giving Julia. It was very crazy to me when Julia is like talking to her husband and talking about Ruth's attitude. And I'm like, baby, she just giving what you giving her right back. That's pretty much it. And Julia's whole thing is, oh, they could be scammers. How do we even know this is their house? There's no family photos. And I'm sitting here like, baby, he in a suit that probably costs more than y'all car. What the hell kind of scammer do that look like? Come on, baby. And then to say, oh, she must be a maid. What made you know in a silk ass dress like that? I mean, please just tell me, okay? Because I ain't never heard of no maids dressed like this. I ain't never heard of the help dressed like this. So I just feel like if you gonna prejudge, baby, prejudge right. You gotta clock what people wearing, clock what they drove up in, which they do say, oh, I didn't hear a car. Did you hear a car? Baby, it ain't no thing to just walk outside and see if you see they goddamn car. That's like, look, you got to learn how to clock it. If you're going to clock it, clock it. So that's pretty much how this whole thing takes place. And Mahershala Mahershala basically is like, look, we were at I think they were at an orchestra or the ballet or something, some fine night gala. And there's some type of power outage with the city. So they just decided to head out to their, little country home. And Ethan Hawke character is just very welcoming, very nice. Just like, okay, Julia's just like, oh, hell nah, get the help up out of here, okay? I'm not sleeping under the same roof with Kunta Kinte. That is basically how she was coming off, okay? That is basically what her attitude was when dealing with these folks. Now, they do end up eventually staying, even though it's not really, what the wife is on board for. And Mahershala was definitely going about trying to be the nicest, most polite, non-aggressive, unassuming black man he could possibly be. But, Julia was just side-eyeing them the whole time, giving them attitude, had all the crisscross things to say. Now, we start where we know we have a power outage, we know we don't have any Wi-Fi at the house, but then we have these moments where we get these slivers of information. The Wi-Fi is out, but when Julia's character wakes up, she gets some alerts on her cell phone that end up disappearing, talking about a cyber attack. And we get the emergency broadcast system on the TV that is also giving us some information. And we find out later in the movie from Kevin Bacon's character about this system of attacking the US in stages where they pretty much will take themselves out and you don't have to do any work. And the stages is isolation, chaos, and misinformation. And I thought this was so freaking interesting and really mirrored the world we live in today, where you get information and it's kind of a situation of, and number one, ambiguous information where you can kind of spiral your own thoughts because you still don't have, like, you have information but not the full picture. And I feel like the cell phone was deliberate. All of the information we got was pretty much misinformation. So that was really taking everybody through a loop. But your only connection is this information, these slivers of information that you are getting. Now, we were also getting these high-pitched radiating sounds that was really screwing everybody up to the point that it was so high-pitched, baby, it was breaking the glass. And we are told that it could be some type of radiation, microwave type of systematic assault. And really, the way the movie operates, these are all just theories. We're getting theories and theories of information, and the movie ends, and I don't know if it was the microwave child. Like, who knows what the hell was happening? But that is the information that we're given to try to make our own theory on. Now, we are trying to figure out what is going on. We're isolated here. We need some type of information. So first, we have Ethan Hawke's character that decides to try to drive to town, but baby gets lost. And honestly, the way the movie was, I didn't know if he was going to make it back to the house. I thought baby was going to spend the rest of the movie just on the road, like whatever in the hell. Now, something that Ethan Hawke is driving along the road for a really long time. And then all of a sudden he comes across this Hispanic lady who is only speaking Spanish. She cannot speak English. She's crying. And I feel like this was so ridiculous in my humble opinion, because language is not the only communication, okay? I have had to try to speak to people where I did not understand the language they were speaking. You can understand body language. You can understand tone. You can understand demeanor. Nothing. The lady is like frantic. She's visibly and audibly scared, hysterical, confused. And Ethan Hawke character is sitting there and all he can say is, I don't speak English. I don't understand you. And the more she's talking, he just gets frazzled and pulls the hell off as she is literally screaming, running alongside the window, like pleading for him, even though you can't understand her language, to not damn run the hell off. And I thought this was so freaking ridiculous. First of all, nothing about this woman, especially if I'm Ethan Hawke, is giving me like danger. Like, it is nothing to just, you know what? There's literally no one out here. She obviously doesn't have a car. We're kind of in the middle of nowhere. Just let the lady get in the car, even if you don't understand her, because what's the worst that could happen? She could be a crazy person and attack you. Well, I'm pretty sure you could fight her off, child. I don't know. Nothing about this made any sense to me, but that was how his character, I really feel like his character ain't really know how to do nothing unless somebody was telling him what to do. Like, that's how he was coming off for me. But I just felt like it was so ridiculous to just leave this lady hanging like this. Even if you cannot understand her language, like I said, you can understand tone, you can understand body language, you can understand demeanor. This lady is visibly scared, freaked out, confused. Nothing about how she was presenting herself and how she was coming off was giving me danger in any shape, way, or form. Now, also, when Ethan Hawke is on the road after he leaves this poor lady damn the hell stranded, we have this. I thought it was a plane dropping blood. That's what I thought when the scene first came up. I was like, baby, blood falling from the like. It was very much giving me that movie Nope when the blood fell all over the house. I thought it was blood, but come to find out, it was actually these red little like packets, like not packet, like sliver of paper, these little red pamphlets, notes coming down out of this drone, which for me, the blood falling down would have been a lot more ominous than damn pieces of paper. But the paper is in, I want to say, Arabic. And he gets back to the house and he's showing them the flyer, and no one really knows what it means except for the pervert ass son. Based on some game he plays, he knows that the front of the flyer says "Death to America." Now, I did look online, and the back of the flyer says, "We ask you pay immediate attention to what we say in this publication. We have the most dangerous and destructive explosives in history, and we leave this horrific fact for you to contemplate and stress the validity of what is said. I'm using this on your land, and steps must be taken to stop the resistance built for peaceful surrender of your land." Now, this also plays into the theme of the movie with misinformation. First of all, even if you cannot read all of that, it's in another language, you don't understand it, I feel like it doesn't matter that we cannot read the flyer. It is still a tool that will lead to speculation and being fearful, especially when you're talking about the themes of like racial tension and stuff that's put in the movie with Julia's character. There is, like a racial prejudice against Arabic people, even if the person isn't Arabic, but they look Arabic. They like, if you just see this pamphlet and see this language and you feel like, okay, we know America is under attack, even if you cannot understand the language, it's still going to do the job of that 3-step process of misleading, misinformation, speculation, chaos, but also the language used, like the actual wording used, also plays into the whole mass media misinformation and how the media uses buzzwords, trigger words, and fear, as well as, misinformation, because the wording in this is so crazy. Pay immediate attention. We have the most dangerous and destructive explosive in history, and we leave this horrific fact for you to contemplate and stress the validity of what it said. And that is pretty much, in my humble opinion, how information media news operates. We're going to give you this scary information. We're going to give you a piece of something, and we're going to leave it with you to kind of ponder. Is it fake news? Is it real? Should I be worried? Should I be scared? Is it a hoax? So I thought that was the whole theme of misinformation being used as a weapon. I feel like it's so smart. And baby, it worked. Nothing drives or motivates like fear. It just doesn't. Nothing it just doesn't. It absolutely does not. Fear is a very strong motivator. Now, while Ethan Hawke is on his mission, leaving the poor Hispanic lady on the side of the road, we have Mahershala, and he decides, while Ethan Hawke character is trying to get to town, Mahershala is like, okay, well, I have a neighbor that's X amount away because we're pretty spread out here, but I'm going to go and see if they know anything. And honestly, I was a bit confused on the scene that's set when he gets to the neighbor's house. The house looks disheveled. It looks destroyed. And I was like, okay, did somebody break in? Did somebody raid the house? Or did the family cause things to be destroyed and, packing in like a panic? I could not make heads or tails of which direction we went. Did the family pack in a hurry and leave this mess, or did someone break in and cause this mess? But Mahershala gets to the garage. He knows his neighbor has this satellite phone. The satellite phone doesn't work. And A satellite phone should always work. When he gets back, that's what he tells Julia, that the only way it won't work is if there is something with the satellites up in space. Now, he ends up being led to the beach following these birds and stuff like that. And he ends up finding plane crash and dead bodies and debris all over the beach. And we know that Mahershala and his daughter are worried about his wife / her mom, who is supposed to be on a flight. And we just see tons of bodies on the beach. And I really, really love the shot when Mahershala sees a watch in the sand and he goes to grab it and it's connected to a severed arm. Love that. I thought that was so good. Y'all, that was very golden for me. Because the way I would have freaked out if that was me in like real life. Now, I gotta say, overall, I did enjoy this movie. But I feel like the movie was way damn the hell too long. A lot was unnecessary, felt drawn out. It was a lot of moments of like down for me where I was like, okay, like let's pick it up, let's pick up the pace, let's get to it. Now, Julia Roberts decides she don't want to stay at this house. They're going to go to her sister's house in Long Island. I don't know, child, somewhere out there around this area we in. I don't know New York. Somewhere around Long Island. I don't know, child. They're going somewhere. They're going to her sister's and they're going to leave, right? And Mahershala is trying to tell them it's not a good idea. But I'm with Ruth. Let him go. Let him go, man. Let her go. Like what Scarface say? Let her go, man. Let her go. Like I was like, baby, me, you wouldn't have came back in my motherfucking house. Like, I'm just saying. So we end up getting on the road and we have the roads blocked off. And baby, I don't know, when I tell you I don't know nothing about cars, I do not know the difference between like a luxury car and a Pinto. Like as far as brands, I'm just not a car person. So I felt so dumb because we get to the scene where all the cars is blocking the road. And I was saying like, why do the cars look like the same car? Why is it the same cars? Like, y'all, I was so confused. Baby, it's because they are all Tesla self-driving cars. I did not know. I was like, what? Now, I done seen neighborhoods on TV where everybody got the same damn house, but I ain't never seen the same damn car. But yes, basically, this was a part of keeping people, the isolation part of the plan. We took the self-driving cars and we had them literally block the roads. But for me, I'm just gonna go walking dead style and we gonna be walking and trekking. I don't care if I can't drive. We finna get somewhere. But you know what? It was probably safest for them to stay damn the hell secluded because the cities was awry. And I feel like even before we get to the scene of finding the cities awry, baby, anytime you in an apocalypse or some crazy, stay the hell away from human beings. Like, stay the hell away from humans. Now, they end up coming back to the house, and Mahershala character lets them in. And, y'all, we got to this point. And for me, I have no problem with the long movie. My favorite movie in the world is Scarface. I still remember having that on VHS, and it was so long, it had to be on 2 different tapes. I am perfectly fine with a long movie if the movie really maximizes and utilizes its runtime. And I also feel like a marker of utilizing your runtime is the audience should not feel the runtime. We got to this point, baby. I was like, baby, how much is left? I want to say we had like an hour still left in the movie, child, by the time. I was like, oh, goddamn. Like, that is not good. Like, the audience should be completely engulfed in the story. Not, y'all, I got to be honest. Like, I scrolled my phone. I was just like, child, come on, child. Now, we get back at home, and Mahershala and his daughter still living in the damn basement. The son, Archie, wakes up. Y'all, I thought this was so crazy. Archie wakes up, and his teeth are falling out. Baby is sitting there pulling them out one by one. And Julia keeps saying, like, stop doing that. But he just keep pulling them out. Now, after he on his own accord, pulls out by 10 teeth. He turned around to his mama and told my teeth. Baby, you shouldn't have been pulling them out. Like, I get it. They were very loose, but you ain't have to pull them. Now, we end up where Julia Roberts' character is very frantic, and she's still like, I was waiting the whole movie for her to damn hell warm the hell up to Mahershala and his daughter. But no matter how much you may have thought she may have been starting to warm up, she still was going to be nasty. She still was going to be a terrible human being. But it was confusing to me how she kept treating and reacting to Mahershala's character, because she kept reacting to him like he was supposed to know more, do more. I'm like, baby, he here blind just like you. Like, I did not understand why she just kept, anytime he was trying to like speculate or try to figure out what was happening, he was met with such aggression by her. She had such an attitude. And I'm like, baby, he knows what you know. Like, we're both looking at the same emergency broadcast. We are both stuck in this house. Oh, that frustrated me so bad. That frustrated me to no end. But then we have a moment that I felt like, when I was talking about the runtime, unnecessary. Completely and utterly unnecessary. So, two parts that was pretty unnecessary for me, well, quite a few, but two that stand out was when Archie and Ruth go out to this little shed, and he's like messing with his little sister, trying to like scare her, talking about, oh, this looks directly into your window. That was very unnecessary for me. We already, look, we don't like the Archie character. He's not likable. He's a pervert. Y'all don't need to have him terrorize his sister anymore. He done already said mean stuff to the girl when she said, oh, no one ever listens to me. No one wants to hear what I say. Yep, you're probably right. We get the character. I just felt like it was pretty unnecessary. We get it. He's a terrible human being. He's okay, we got it. Then we have Ethan Hawke character and Ruth hanging out outside, and Mahershala and Julia are in the house, and we're having a conversation, etc., trying to warm up, trying to get, her to warm up and to like him. And baby, first of all, we had to have Julia Roberts do like the drunk white mom PTA dance. And then we had this weird moment of, was this supposed to be sexual tension? It just was so unnecessary. It was not needed. And it honestly did not make any sense for the character. Mahershala is madly in love with his wife. He's worried about his wife. For all he knows, she dead. I do not see that moment happening if we are really staying true to the character. I mean, for me, I personally don't. So I just felt like it wasn't necessary. It wasn't needed. Baby, we could have left that on the cutting room floor. Okay. But get back to the son and his teeth falling the damn hell out, and Julia wanting answers and wanting somebody to do something. So Ruth ends up having her dad promise her that he ain't gonna leave her here with the crazy white folk. Well, I was all for her, because in real life, somebody acting like Julia, I don't know what you capable of. I don't want to be left here by myself with y'all. Ain't no telling what y'all could damn the hell do to me. And Mahershala was kind of irking me if I'm the daughter. He seemed way too, look, it's okay to like be concerned, care for your fellow man, but he was taking stuff too far for me. Baby, you got a daughter you need to be taken care of and worried about. Mahershala decides that, hey, we got a neighbor that stayed down, Kevin Bacon. He's one of those like doomsday prepper type people. He probably has medicine and all kinds of stuff. So Mahershala, Ethan Hawke, and the pervert ass son decide to go on over to Kevin Bacon's house, right? And absolutely love Kevin Bacon. One of my favorite actors ever. Love his introduction. Love when he comes in. And I love when he comes in. It actually brought some real tension. It felt tense. Like, I absolutely loved it. Everything was turned up to the max. And Kevin Bacon is pretty much like, look, I'm just trying to take care of my family. Everything that's up in here is for us. Get to stepping. And it was annoying me, but I guess Mahershala know this guy. He was his contractor. But Mahershala is like, oh, he ain't gonna shoot. Like, we need to get this boy some help. I'm sitting here like, baby, how you know he ain't gonna shoot? What if your ass gets shot? Your daughter, you supposed to be helping your daughter. But this is when, oh, and baby, while Mahershala about to die, and get shot for Archie, baby. Archie just sitting in the Archie ain't budge. I thought that was like, baby, we here to get medicine for you. We trying to help you. Can you come out and plead your case? You can talk with, your gums. Like, baby, come out and plead your. It just really tripped me out that we about to die to get medicine for Archie, and baby was just sitting in the car looking through the window like, oh shit, these niggas finna get shot. Like, he really was just sitting there watching everything go down. But Mahershala character's like, look, don't play with me, baby. I got a gun too. So we just finna be out here shooting holes in each other. Like, what we gonna do? Because we not leaving. The young man need medicine. He needs some help. But also, we don't even know what he's sick from. Like, we're just here. What are y'all here to? We're here to get medicine. But to me, medicine is a bit irrelevant if you don't even know what you're treating. I can't just go into the hospital and grab medicine and inject myself and just take like, you have no idea what it's supposed to be for. But so we don't get shot. Useless ass dad decides to jump in to be like, look, that's when he gives his speech about, I'm a useless man. I can't even walk 2 steps down the street without the GPS. And I'm pretty much doing what you said you would do, anything to protect my family. That is pretty much why I'm here. So Kevin Bacon character softens up a bit, like, you know what? I'm a man trying to protect my family. He's a man trying to protect his family. Let me just help him out, okay? So, but again, Archie take this medicine. What the hell is the medicine supposed to do? This really reminded me of when I was a kid, and you know how your grandma feel like Vicks and ginger ale will cure everything. Like, no matter what you got, Vicks and ginger ale gonna cure. Like, it just really irked me so bad that we was just blindly giving Archie medicine when we didn't even know what the hell was going on. But this was also when Kevin Bacon was speculating about the radiation. But I feel like if it was radiation, baby, why all our teeth ain't falling the hell them out? But maybe some people are more sensitive to things than other people. Maybe it affects you at a different rate. I don't know. But Archie was the only one who had his damn teeth falling out. Now, while we are on the mission to help Archie, we also have a situation of missing Ruth. We wake up in the morning. Ruth is nowhere to be found. So, not Ruth. Rose, Julia Roberts' daughter. She's missing. We woke up. She's nowhere to be found. So Julia Roberts and Ruth go looking for the little girl. And Ruth better than me. Because, baby, you've been giving me attitude. I ain't helping you do nothing. Talk about me not getting in the pool because my hair and this can't possibly be our house. Go find your little daughter on your own, lady. Like, that would have just had to be me. But what was really so trippy to me, and also, even though I do feel like the movie may not have been executed in the best way, I think I liked it so much because I really liked what they were trying to do and what they were trying to explore and what they were trying to say. Julia Roberts is one of those, like, the character is one of those people that hates people and feels like people are terrible, but she's terrible. Like, that is so trippy to me when people are like, oh, people are mean and people are terrible. You're mean and you're one of the people you're talking about. That tripped me out so crazy. So they get into this little cabin when they're looking for Rose, and Julia's character goes into this speech where she's like, humans are terrible. We F each other over all the time without even thinking about it. We F every living thing on this planet over. We have this agreed upon mass delusion to help us ignore how awful we really are. And the speech, great dialogue, hit the nail on the head, like a very, just true to life. But I'm just like, baby, you're talking about, like, you're one of those terrible people that's effing people over. And it was so interesting to me when she even says, like, look how I treated you and your dad. Like, I don't even know why I did it. That is the part for me with people that is so trippy. Like, you're the one being mean and nasty or being prejudiced and doing something toxic or negative with no real rhyme or reason for why you're doing it. But I also love when Ruth responds to her and she's like, no matter how awful people might be, nothing's going to change the fact that we're all we've got. And I really just love this whole scene. I love this conversation. I love how Julia Roberts' character is so prejudiced when she first meets Mahershala and his daughter, like, oh, they gotta be the help. This cannot be their house. But in the end, the person she had to rely on and the only person here to help because her useless ass husband can't do nothing was Mahershala. Was the person that you was like, I don't want you to stay here. He gotta be the janitor. This a scam. She a maid. In the end, him and his daughter were the only people that her and her family had to rely on. So I love how that worked out. I absolutely really enjoyed this movie because of things like that. Like the execution may not have been the greatest, but I feel like the movie really said a lot without feeling preachy, without feeling too on the nose, without kind of hitting you over the head with the message. In my humble opinion, I feel like everything came, well, not everything, child, but those certain themes came across very natural. Like the progression of the characters with Julia made sense. She pretty much was forced into this little alliance with Mahershala and his daughter. So that made it make a lot more sense for her to kind of start to warm up to them. It wasn't by choice. It was pretty much by convenience. Like they're the only ones around. We're pretty much stuck here together. Now, we end up seeing that the city has been bombed, gunfire, and when we finally get that shot of the city, I was like, baby, we ain't far enough. Like, we are not damn the hell far enough from the city. That city did not look far enough away. If this the end of times or the apocalypse and World War III popping off, I need to be further from the chaos than what they look. That tripped me out. Now, we end up having, when Mahershala and Ethan end up getting the medicine, this scene was tripping me out. We're in the car and Mahershala is talking to Ethan Hawke character, and then I was seeing him like, he was like giving him a speech like, yo, I need to know you down. I need to know you down, okay? I need to know that if shit pop off, I'm saying like, this sound like like you want Ethan Hawke to be Tupac and ride out. Like, what the? I did not know where the hell Mahershala was going with this. I was like, baby, are we about to like run up in Kevin Bacon's house, steal this? Like, I did not know where it was going. I was sitting here like, the hell are you finna ask him to do? But Kevin Bacon ends up being like, oh, I forgot. Y'all, I kind of said it wrong. Kevin Bacon did not soften and give them the medicine because of Ethan Hawke's plea. I forgot. Ethan Hawke gave him money, gave him like $1,000. That's why he did it. And I completely forgot. I said that wrong. So we're in the car, are getting ready to leave, and Kevin Bacon is like, if y'all want some information, you want a little freebie. He tells them about a neighbor that built this doomsday bunker and has all these supplies. So that's where Mahershala was going with the speech, because I was saying, like, babe, what the hell is you finna ask him to do? So this is the last that we see of Mahershala, pervert ass Archie, and Ethan Hawke's character. They are headed to that neighbor's house for that bunker. So that is what Mahershala was pretty much trying to say to Ethan Hawke, like, yo, baby, we ride at dawn. Like, is you down or what? Like, is you coming or what? And then on the flip side, we have Julia character and Ruth at the in the woods by that little shed looking for Rose. And Julia kind of goes off further away, and she ends up seeing this house, and she sees the bike that Rose left on, because when we were at the house, Ruth had made mention that, hey, she took one of the bikes out of the garage. So Julia sees that. But then when she turns, we see that Ruth is surrounded by these deer. So we have that whole thing going down, and Ruth was very scared. Julia Roberts' character comes over to like help and protect her. But this scene was really mind-boggling for me because the deer didn't actually do anything threatening. They were just physically imposing, I guess, but nothing about those deer was giving me like they finna attack. Like, I've never even heard of deers. Like, are deers violent? Like, I just thought it was very weird that they were so freaking scared when it came to those deers coming. I was just like, baby, they not doing nothing to y'all. They not doing nothing. Like, they just standing there. Now, I will say I absolutely loved the deer in this movie. And I always say I am not one that has like a really pristine eye for CGI. Like, if it's some bad CGI, baby, anybody could tell bad CGI. Baby, I saw these deer and the movie ended and I was like, baby, how did we get the animals to do this stuff? Y'all, the deer was CGI. I thought they had, I was sitting here like, baby, what kind of animal trainers got these deer to like come up out the bushes? Like, I thought the deer was real, okay? I guess my uneducated, non-professional eye, I thought the deer was real. But they were all CGI deer. Because I sure was like, how the hell do they be getting animals to do this stuff in these movies? So I love the deer. I love all the shots of the deer. I thought they were so good. And I feel like for me, the deer represented nature. I felt like the deer were trying to warn the humans. The deer pop up periodically. And Rose keeps trying to tell her family. Well, I don't think she told the family. She told the brother. The family don't really damn listen to her. Nobody was really paying attention or noticing the deer outside of Rose. And I feel like at first, and I feel like the deer represent nature because at first the humans are oblivious to the deer. And then they get unnecessarily scared of the deer because they're just scared of something that they just don't understand. Like something strange happens and your instinct is to just be scared. But on the flip side, my other theory is that the deer represents our disrespect of nature. We had the beach littered with trash and plastic, and I feel like it was just for me the deer representing nature versus humanity and our attitude towards nature and animals, especially given and Julia Roberts, I was going to say Angela Bassett. Why was I finna say that? Especially given Julia Roberts' speech about how we F every living thing on the planet. Like, she gives a pretty, I want to say, self-aware speech about humans being terrible and how we do the planet when she does those things. And in the second we come across animals, our instinct is to like be scary and shoo them away. And I'm like, wait, you just said. But I also felt the deer represented nature as in looking at the humans to say, you did this, this is your fault. So it's kind of like three theories I have on what the deer represented, but in all the theories, they represent nature. They're just, each theory, they're saying something different. But I feel like it definitely felt like judgy eyes looking at the humans like, baby, this is your fault. But I just love how the deer were used just overall. Nothing about the deer were aggressive to me, though, not even when they all surrounded Ruth. I don't know. It just did not feel, it felt more like beautifully shot as opposed to like a scary shot or scary scene. It felt, I don't know, it felt more beautiful to me than, but you know, Ruth felt like Bambi and her dear thugs was finna get hostile, so we had to just, you know, run them the damn hell off, child. So, but I don't know, let me know what y'all think that the, you know, deer represented, because I just felt like that's what I was getting. But they were very lovely. I love them in the story. So now we pretty much wrap up where Rose was the only one stopping, noticing, thinking. And the night before she disappeared, she tells this story, a story I think most people have heard, where it's a story about a guy who people come to try and help him, but he keeps saying, God will help me, and he dies, and he gets mad at God, like, why didn't you save me or help me? And God is like, well, I sent you a boat, and I sent you an airplane, like I sent people to help you. So Rose ends up, when she's out with Archie, and she's trying to like, she wants to follow the deer, but he doesn't let her. So then the next day she disappears. She ends up following the deer, and she ends up being led to the bunker that Kevin Bacon told them about. And presumably just like Mahershala family, this is not that family's full-time residence, and it's just unexpectedly popped off. So presumably they were not able to get to their bunker. So the little girl is in the house. She has been gone since before everybody woke up. And it was staying to reason that your parents are looking for you. But baby, she just up in the house eating. She in the house parlaying, okay? She even has a moment where she hears her mother call her, but she just continues to just gallivant through the house because she gets led somewhere. So the thread throughout the movie with Rose is that she is obsessed with watching the show Friends, and she loses Wi-Fi before she could see the season finale and see how the show ends. So her Friends obsession leads her to that bunker, and the movie ends. The movie ends with Rose being led, going into this bunker, and physical media, they have a whole bunch of it, and she gets the DVD, and the movie cuts when the Friends theme song plays. I absolutely love the ending. And even though we don't actually get a end, I guess, I feel like you can pretty much deduce that we all made it to the bunker. First of all, we got the information from Kevin Bacon. We know that that is where Mahershala, Ethan Hawke, and Archie are headed. We know that Julia Roberts' character saw this house, saw the bike, and called out to Rose. We know that, hey, the bike is here, so she's going to go in there as well. The little girl did not lock herself in the bunker. The door is open. So I feel like it's like a happy ending. We all made it to the bunker. It is fully stocked, food, media, and there was also I don't know how the hell the computer was working, but it was a computer with like some information coming on there. A big reason though that I love the end of this movie is because of the irony of people obsessing over a fictional ending just like Rose did. Like, I have seen so many people online, like, they hate the end. And I'm like, when this movie cut, I loved it. I thought it was brilliant. And I usually do not like an ambiguous ending, but I feel like it is brilliant here and it is fitting here because of the themes that are explored in this movie. Who's behind this whole attack? What is actually happening is as ambiguous for the audience as it is for the characters in the movie. I feel like that's kind of the point. And I feel like I'm Rose at the end of the world. I'm going to finally watch Nip Tuck and Breaking Bad. What other mission should I be? And plus, I feel like Rose is like, what is she, 12? What else is she supposed to be doing at the end of the world? If she's supposed to be creating like a water filtration system, like what is she supposed to be doing? It's pretty on brand for a little 12-year-old. It's the end of the world, and she is focused on what brought her joy, what gives her solace in the mix of chaos. She tells us she just cares about those characters. And Rose said, look, God helps those who help themselves. She said, Kim Kardashian said, get up off your fucking ass and work. So that's what Rose did, okay? Overall, though, I would give this movie a solid 5 out of 10. I think it is an average, enjoyable movie. Honestly, I would give it more along the lines of a 4. But I'm going to bump it up a point because I did really love the themes and things explored in the movie. Now, at over 2 hours, it is too long, too drawn out. Some very unnecessary moments, unnecessary and uninspiring dialogue in parts. But like I said, love the concept, love the visuals, love the message. I enjoyed how it was shot. So many shots were so gorgeous. Love the colors used, the attention to detail. There was a moment where I was noticing there's like a painting in the house that kept changing in the background. Like, I absolutely love all of those little just moments that they put in the movie. I also love when we're talking about the message of the movie and some of the dialogue that they did get right. There were so many gems said where the movie as a whole is such a mirror of the times, but also some of the things that are said. There's a moment when Mahershala is saying how nothing frightens him more than someone unwilling to learn, even at their own expense. It's a darkness he will never understand. That is so true to the times that we are in now. And I also really love the scene where we had the stuff going down with Kevin Bacon and Mahershala and Archie and all them, as well as what was happening at the cabin. I love multiple scenes like happening at once. I feel like it really intensifies the situation. We had, I think it was the moment, if I'm not mistaken, where we had the deer surrounding Rose and Kevin Bacon and Mahershala about to shoot each other. Really loved how they did that. And I also loved how the kids are so unfazed in this movie. Archie must get teeth fall out like the poor girl on Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and he don't bat an eyelash. Like, the kids were so unfazed. They were not panicking. And I feel like that was such a mirror of the times as well. I feel like kids these days are such like internet culture kids. They see so many like types of visuals online, and they're exposed to so much so early that the kids in this movie being so kind of desensitized to a real life, like it, there is a moment where Archie films the shipwreck and then they're in the car watching it. That is what kids are growing up. They're growing up looking at tragedy online. Also, when we talk about the animals in the movie, the deer, the flamingos randomly flying into the pool, I feel like the movie kind of gives us a little information. And I feel like I also am thinking of that movie that I love, The Core. That's also like a doomsday movie. And we had these birds, and they told us that the animals can get off track because of like magnetic stuff with the North and South Pole. So I really loved how we had the flamingo come, but I kind of feel like we should have had more animals. Like, if the birds and stuff are getting off because of this magnetic thing and the microwaves and all that stuff, I feel like it should have been more than just the flamingos. So another theme that I really like that was explored in the movie is the fact that Mahershala character, him and his family got more money and status than Julia's family, but she treats him and his daughter like they're beneath her. In their own home, they're staying in the basement. Even after her family leaves, they come back and they're still in the basement. Mahershala was walking in his own house like, hey, is it okay if I get something to drink? I kind of feel like, I don't give if you rent at my house. It's the end of the day. I'm coming to my house whenever the hell I want to come in. You go ahead and you file a complaint with nobody because it's the end of the world. Like, I don't know, the way that whole thing was happening and how like pleasant and nice and accommodating Mahershala's character was trying to be, even being met with such racial aggression from Julia's character. Everything that points to the family being Black in that rental are all locked in his office. So anybody that rents this house has no idea that a Black family stays here. I feel like all of that says so much. And also them using Friends throughout the movie for that thread. Friends notably got a lot of criticism for not including Black characters and for being a ripoff and white version of the Living Single show. So I feel like they just explored so much in this movie that I felt like was just, I thought it was very like great idea. I guess I can't say very well done, but you know, the parts that was well done was well done. Okay. Overall, I enjoyed it. I had a good time with it, but something that I thought was really interesting, guys, Denzel Washington was actually cast and was supposed to be in this, but he dropped out and was replaced by Mahershala Ali. I thought that was real. I'm like, damn, I'm trying to think, damn, do I see Denzel in this role? I don't know. I really like what Mahershala did. I thought he was really good. And I'm just like, dang, I just thought that was really interesting. Who would y'all think would kind of portray this better, Denzel or Mahershala? Did Mahershala do it justice enough, or would it have been better if we would have had Denzel? And something else that I thought was interesting was Julia Roberts and the young lady that played her daughter got like really extremely close and bonded on set, to the point that Julia is known for being a foot dragger. If you're not, Southern, that means walking around barefoot outside. So the young lady who plays Rose wanted to mimic that and be barefoot as much as possible. And it was actually her idea. and she fought and like insisted on being barefoot when she went outside. That great scene when she goes outside and she's by the pool and the deer come up, and it was her idea to get that close-up shot that they do of her bare feet walking across the lawn to the deer. I thought that was really interesting because that's one of my favorite shots in the whole movie. I thought that was so good. I was like, that was that little girl idea. Like, I don't know. I thought that was really good and really very interesting. But that is my thoughts on Leave the World Behind. I definitely feel like the execution definitely could have been better. But overall, I enjoyed it. I thought it was a good time. So let's see. If Denzel dropped out says a lot. You know what? That was my knee-jerk reaction because Denzel don't play when it comes to picking a project. That was the first thought that came to mind. Yes, The Core is my movie. The Core is my movie. I absolutely love that movie. Let's see. Deer are flight animals, but have been known to defend themselves when desperate. Okay, well, they're not violent, though. That wasn't a situation where they would have had to defend themselves. I don't know. I thought it was very strange that the characters just immediately was scared when they saw the deer. Like, they probably out here trying to figure shit out just like y'all. Like, why y'all so upset? NyQuil cures everything. Look, child. Look, maybe he took some NyQuil for his teeth falling out. I don't know. Hey, Nicole, you tardy, but thank you for showing up. Thank you guys so much for showing up and supporting the content. And let me know, what did you think of Leave the World Behind? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Did you not like the ending? I love the ending. I thought it was very strong. But let me know in the comments what your thoughts are. And until the next time, I'll see you.